but we gotta go anyway because... Yeah, this is it.
Hello, you two.
There's still snow here. Oh, hello,
hi,
Duncan.
Can I help you two? What's up?
No, we're actually, yes, you can. We're looking
Yes,
for
we're looking for Barra.
Barra something or other.
Yeah.
Barra Scarisi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Oh.
No, you don't say bless you when they cough.
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't know what you say.
You're a bit off. Yeah, they're actually in the forest here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what? Okay.
Here, you're gonna want to take the road. The forest is treacherous. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that forest part.
Oh,
no,
wait,
the one
is
that
it-
we were told not to go in.
Is it the forest? I like that forest. You know what? It sounds like a
That's
lovely
one way
place.
to
Let's
go.
go right now.
Come on.
Of course. It's not at all dangerous, right?
You see, someone's looking for Barra as well, but I'm sure if they find them first, and like, it'll take all the fun out of talking to them. So I want to get there
Exactly.
first.
Who's looking for them and for what?
Oh, don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
Kind of my job to worry. They're my neighbors.
Oh, it's no one too important.
It's not that important.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
Then you should have no
It's
problem.
not more important than us.
Then you should have no
Yes,
problem
exactly.
telling me.
Hello.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Hi, Dominic.
What happened? Hey, Duncan.
Here, have a berry.
you have a berry. Are you okay? Oh, I dropped all of them. Hold on. I didn't mean to
Wait,
do that.
don't-
Here you
don't
go.
throw
Do
all
that.
your berries.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Duncan didn't give you anything. Sorry, Duncan. You okay, Duncan?
Wait, let me
Duncan, where
type.
did you say he was? Oh, okay.
I'm fine.
Oh.
But you guys didn't see it though. Fine.
Yeah, we did not see it. Okay. So where are we going again?
Oh, Benny. Hello.
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 Hi.
Who
Hi.
ended up winning the talent show? I had to leave a bit after.
Me. I
Pong
did.
did. Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh
Correct.
yeah, your performance I saw. That was interesting.
I know.
No, it
Why,
was,
thank you.
Arena Weirnsel. I don't know where
Dominic,
she's from, but
head back
she's
to-
the one who won.
Vicentia, I will speak with you soon.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yes, Pong.
I'll be back.
Yes,
Thank
Come
Spain.
on.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
yes. Forest
We're
time.
keeping on it. Okay.
Who even
Hey,
is Barra?
Pong, guess what I found out. You know that museum that we keep stealing from? It's
Oh,
being
yes.
delayed another supposed 20 to 40 years. So
Oh, God.
Maybe stop stealing from
Kenneth
them.
wasn't
and you won't
happy
be
about
delayed.
that.
I
No,
want to go
It
there
wasn't
one
because we
day.
stole.
silent feller with the armor. Who might you be?
Oh, that's...
I don't know my name no more.
Yeah, I don't know my name no
I got-
more.
Yeah.
I got rocks dropped in my head.
I like to call him Uncontrolled, because it
Yes,
kind
I
of
did
sounds
too.
like unknown, but, you know, in a funny way.
Okay, that's a terrible name.
I like
It's a
this
great
person.
name.
Come on, let's keep moving.
Let's go.
I'm just sticking
Let's-
with them.
Walk and talk.
Exactly.
Come on.
Look,
I like his presence.
I get
So-
that, but at least have a proper name.
I don't want one.
Oh,
Exactly.
can I name you? Can I name you? Can I
Oh,
name
can we
you?
name you? Can we name you?
What do you want to name me?
Yes, Ruffles.
Ruffles?
How about
Yes.
Robert?
Can you do RP
Can-
name
can we-
Ruffles right now?
Can we? how about
Ruffles
Robert?
Rascal.
Just something normal.
Come on, Ruffles. Let's go.
Come
Duncan,
on,
where are we
come on,
going? You're
Ruffles.
the one
It's
leading the
Ruffles
way.
and Duncan.
There
Yeah.
we go.
You three are hopeless.
I have a feeling this is what I'm going to be doing all the time, Skip.
Not most of the time, Skip. It would be a fun.
All right.
Ruffles, how do you want to be introduced? I usually do
I'm
this.
going to
This
warn
is
you right
Ping.
now.
And this is Bong.
I'm going to warn you right now. If you aren't allowed here, like if the freedoms are to go on,
Yes,
here,
we
they're
are. We
gonna
were
be-
just here.
Hold on, if they're
No,
not
we were just
spoken-
here earlier.
Otherwise, Boris Grease is gonna be there. That's where he lives.
Where?
Oh, okay.
In the woods right here?
Yeah, keep taking the road until you enter, until you find the
Mhm.
walls, and then knock on the door or something.
We've been here before. We got our fortune.
Well, that's where Bar would normally be. I don't have anywhere else to show you. So take care. Alright,
Duncan.
have you seen any of the
Uh,
others? Hylenia, Hazel?
Uh, I believe Hylenia was here, but I don't know where now. And Zale, I don't know, but
Okay.
that's
Let me message Joe real quick. Because they whispered to
hmm.
me.
Alright. I can ring the bell since we ever haven't actually rung that thing.
Indeed. Please do.
Hold up.
You okay?
Oh yeah, all good.
Alright. Well, it's not around here. Let's just go. Let's go to your teeth workshop.
Alright. Sure. Let me
Alright.
so
Just for reference, the canonical reason I came up with for why I was unavailable, and this is a little season 3 foreshadowing, is I actually did go to the fog. And you know, have you ever been to the fog in game?
I
Uh,
haven't.
well, I've been nearby, but I never been close enough to actually get the damage. I got close enough apparently. Like, you know, it makes you blind. It does this text of like the fog is grabbing you and you start to forget. So I was actually in it for like all of 3 seconds, but even that is leaving its mark over a period of time. So that's
Jesus.
hence why, you know, I was kind of unavailable. And then I went to the volcano and was in the like in the outside area, but presumably that would have been a lot of smoke from the eruption, so my lungs ain't too hot.
Ooh.
Anyways, all right,
Yeah.
it's time for some. All right. How did things go yesterday? I know I was indisposed, as you saw.
Well, a lot happened, but nothing to concern yourself with, my lord. What happened? Um,
That's just the
first of
point.
all,
That is what I want to concern myself with all of it. So what happened?
hmm, I know from the from this all the smoke, your condition is just a little concerning. But here's what happened. We've called Ramses
Aramis.
the Aramis, yes. Uh, he in madness he tried to flee from the dashes of Ember's Hallow, and he was caught. And he was put on a guillotine in the Aaron Castle and beheaded. It it was a
So
good sight to see everyone there, but
was it
bummer.
true that they were the cause of the
Hmm.
eruption?
That Ramses does admit to having some sort of responsibility in the act of sacrificing Brutus to the volcano,
We
and
should
he
have
was.
tossed them out with a catapult into the volcano.
Mm, probably we should have done that indeed, but we we can't change time now, can we, Duncan? Ember's Hollow still lays as a wreck, but one day it might become something.
How
For
many?
now, I don't think it'll ever become something without Bumbo. That's you know about that, Duncan?
Just gonna do a little typing. Just give me a minute. Minecraft me is not the best of commands to use.
Damn. I guess you do. Well, after the guillotine, Bumbo started coughing again. Well, he coughed for his last time at least, but I guess it was his last breath, last time with us all.
And his
I
foundry?
miss him, Duncan. We don't know. Somewhat filled with lava. We can't go near it and scrap the remnants, but still. Duncan's kids seem to be fine, but it's okay, Duncan. We all miss him.
We all knew he was
one of the
old.
great.
We all knew he was old. His time was coming at some point, but I mean, can you
It seems
imagine being him
unbelievable.
having lost his home and then just dying?
I find it truly unbelievable.
Aramis just as good as killed him as his lungs did.
He lost the home he had, and he lost the people he called friends, I guess. But still, he
Yeah,
will live on
I'm gonna
in
do
all
that.
this.
I'm gonna do that instead. No, thank you for. Also, if you're still
Damn
spectating,
right.
stick around. I'm gonna do a little something. Um, you know what? I've had my fill of this crap. What is it we make? What is it we make here, Dominic?
We make siege weapons, my lord.
Tell me. With all the materials we have to get, we need the wood. But what actually keeps the siege machines together? What keeps the wood beams and wheels together?
Well, that is some of Aaron's finest steel, my lord.
And we have lost the source of Aaron's final steel.
Indeed, we have.
Bumbo has kids who have shown no interest in the trade, and 2 grandchildren who can't even walk, let alone smith. So, I say, to hell with it. I am not going to suffer this any longer.
You really mean this, Duncan?
Look inside. Look inside the sack. That is the last of Bumbo's strongfoot steel in Vicentia. He entrusted me with it, and with it gone, that is the last we're going to see of strongfoot steel unless those grandchildren grow up and decide to smith on their own. And we don't exactly have 20, 30 years to wait until they master their craft.
I guess we don't, indeed.
We lost one of 4 towns that took over 20 years to develop, and we lost it in the span of a day. Whatever enemies we have out there, whether they be that mysterious traveler, whether they be that ghost of wave or whatnot, or whether they be the folk up in the tundra, they are going to see this as a sign of weakness, and they're going to try anything against us. Maybe not in a day, not in a week, not in a month, maybe it'll take years, but it's going to happen. And when we do, we're going to have siege machines ready.
Of course. Eredith, Lady Hylenio, it's good
There
to
you
meet
are. I've been looking for you everywhere.
Greetings, apologies, I haven't felt well since the fog. How can I help you?
How are you feeling, Eredith?
A bit better.
Your disembark?
I'm feeling a bit better than previous day.
Here.
However, thank you. I was wondering if you've seen Ping or Pong recently. I believe they were headed this direction last time I spoke with them.
I am sorry you had to suffer all that.
Thank you.
As for Ping and Pong, apologies. Thank Aramis for that. They were here. They wished to see Bara Scarisi, so I directed them to Freedom's Edge, likely where they are now. Is there a problem?
Thank you. Possibly. Nothing urgent though.
Are you sure you don't want us to accompany? Just in case.
I should be fine, thank you.
Alright. Take care.
You as well.
Of all the people wronged, I think he was wronged the most.
Mhm. He has both the scars, which are both
I-
mental and physical.
Now, Marshall, how can I help you?
I wish to speak to you both, actually. It's good to have you in one place. Although this is certainly an interesting place to discuss what I'm about to speak on.
We can
Okay.
go into town.
Would you... Actually, that might be nicer. I don't
Alright.
imagine you've got too much more siege works needed to be done, Dominic.
Alright, come on.
Of course not.
I'll leave my hole. I really am stupid for giving my last piece of food to that guy.
Do you require some food?
No, okay, that was out of character.
Okay.
When I'm in that sort of, look, I talk like this when I'm in character, and then out of character I'm talking
No,
like this.
I do the same thing. I tried doing a deeper voice, but I kind of gave up on it because it was kind of annoying and it didn't really sound any different in recordings.
Bro, I'm just gonna speak
Shall we
with
speak
this.
in the
It's
training
like-
yard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly mind where, I just thought it would... Actually, you know what, this is nice, this is perfect.
I like the view of the waters. It comes
Well,
down.
I wish to speak to you both on the matter of, well, I suppose Vicentia's future. We're in a pretty interesting spot, I suppose, within the Empire at this point, with the destruction of Ember's Hollow. Obviously, the succession is likely going to come up within the Empire soon. I wish Marcos the very best in governing our collective domains, don't you agree?
Of course. Marcos, yes.
I do hope he's in good health. I worry that everyone appears to be just being sick and dying at the moment.
Seems to be happening to all of us. And the best of us, of course.
But...
Crap.
With that being said, I want to propose an idea.
That would be.
Well, let me start with this. I've been to the Circle of Birch quite a few times at this point. You might be aware of our successful trade mission?
I was under the impression it was a rather underwhelming failure on account of multiple people not really wishing to trade or not having anything they wanted to buy.
Actually, much gold was to be had with it.
Well, that'd be proven wrong. So there was
I
something.
guess gold is another thing.
To the point where I can do this pretty freely. That was meant for one for each of you.
It's alright.
Point being, we're an interesting spot, and I learnt a lot about their so-called. They do this thing where they basically what do they call it? Voting. That was it. That was the term. Voting. They vote. They pick a leader, basically, from amongst themselves. It's a strange practice.
I will be honest, given how Circle of Birch has turned out, I'm not exactly trusting of that system, though I won't pretend I haven't heard of its existence, though half the time it's with the populace revolting and upending everything so much they end up ruining the nation until it can't be...
If anything, it's been the reverse. The person they've elected has seemingly ignored their wishes numerous times. In fact, I would expect that if any group was to migrate here, it would be that group, based on our free harbor policy.
Yeah.
But what I wish to propose is that the city is one of, well, comparative freedom for the rest of the Empire. The seas beckon. We are a city of relatively free commerce. There is no guilds here. that stifle growth. We have an open policy regarding immigration. Is there not? And while I do think that the demonstration of the Circle of Birch, how we say, what did you call where you tested something? Was it an experiment with your siege engines? Is that what you called it? An experiment?
An experiment? Yeah, roundabout, yes.
I suppose there is an argument to be made that the Circle of Birch experiment has failed.
I would argue so. At least it's not off to a great start.
At least in its current form. And suppose perhaps that some sort of written document might be wise to organize our future and how we run things here. Perhaps streamlining matters?
I suppose that is not a horrible idea.
And
at least something that at the very least displays the rights and duties of Duke citizens.
yes, I think that's a perfect way of putting it. I think a declaration of the rights of our citizens and their participation. I do think that, hear me out here, I wonder if there's perhaps a middle ground between the Circle of Birch, because there was such a thriving community there, despite that, the failings of their leader, of their so-called Lord Protector. But their community was thriving otherwise. Perhaps there's a way to combine the good of both?
Marshall, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm not here to shake the island to its core. While I do at least agree with your, shall we say, document idea, I'm not very inclined to adopt Circle of Birch policies at this time.
I see.
And mind you, we do still have a liege, so you have to consider his approval as well.
I would not even consider attempting to usurp any sort of position within the Empire.
It's not about usurpation.
Be yourself or him.
It's not about usurpation. It's just, like I said, I am Duke, of course, but I am a vassal of the larger Empire. So, while we do have a lot of, shall we say, independence or autonomy, as you put it, it's not absolute. So, I'm definitely not telling you not to have these ideas, but calibrate the feasibility of them.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't say dismiss it. Perhaps give me a solid plan over time, and perhaps something we can discuss. As for your document of rights, the charter, I don't know, we can work on naming it after. That is something I do wholeheartedly agree, especially with the Safe Harbor Initiative. Folk who are coming here are going to want to know what is expected of them and what they receive in turn.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I'm glad that that's at least been something we can agree on. Could I at least finish the concept I had for some sort of... I described it when coming up with the name. I tried to think of I thought of it. The idea would basically be a sort of position, like they do, under the Duke. So let us say that you are the Duke, and I imagine that with the Regent, that it would pass on to you, if that is correct with regard to the succession.
The Regent is essentially rules in my name if I'm incapacitated. The heir is still a matter of much discussion. My son is young. He's not ready. And then there's the possibility he doesn't want it. So I have to decide eventually, but I need some time.
Well, the reason why I mentioned this is that I think it would be an effective way to smooth over anything while maintaining the authority of the Duke, if that makes sense. If it's underneath the authority of either the Regency or the Dukedom,
what is this position you're thinking of entail?
Perhaps just the person who manages much of the civilian means, like, say, if you go, I want, I want this expanded. The person, I guess I'm gonna give it the term chancellor. I think I like that word.
I actually was about to suggest that. You are the
And then-
marshal, of course, of military matters, which means your counterpart should be a chancellor.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Either that, yeah, it would make sense to have a chancellor position, and then basically what I'm proposing is that some sort of civilian leadership, possibly elected through that means, and then that way it's still under you, and it would be an effective way of doing the regency. Obviously,
So essentially,
I imagine that,
you want a populist representative.
yes, I think that's a good way of putting it. That might be a good way of putting it.
Okay.
But it wouldn't change anything. The title is effectively at the control of the Duke. The Duke could just simply assuade the person
It is
aside.
essentially an advisory position.
Essentially, but it would potentially help mollify popular discontent.
Well, given our current population, I can't necessarily implement it, given we three are essentially half of the population. But should our population grow, I definitely at least see cause to merit considering your measures.
Brilliant. I will get to work on that document idea at least.
Okay.
That'd be great, yes.
Have a proposal ready for me at some point. This is likely going to be time-sensitive stuff, so hopefully there's some time skip forward.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I've already kind of written like some of it down as some of the basic ideas I had.
Alright. You should like,
And it was
share
going to
that-
get thrown in the bin.
You should share
It was
that
gonna get
Google
thrown in
Doc
the
and we,
bin.
like, work on it over time.
Honestly, it was not that complex. It was literally going to be like it was going to be like written in the sort of the same style as the Safe Harbor stuff with the poster.
Well, yeah, sure, but I like to put my input in there as well, because, like, I could have some ideas here. But anyways, let's
That's
get back
fair.
to the RP. As for
Actually, before we finish,
Hmm?
I was going to ask what Dominic thought on that.
by all means,
I think it was a great idea. I remember such a system in place back in the old continents. Now it's been a while ago since I've ever heard of anything in the old continents, but there was something
well,
sort of like that. A power for the people, it seemed, but uncommon in a world such as this.
I suppose the
No.
closest these measures of yours equate to back home would be a council.
Effectively,
At least for your
But-
populist and chancellor and martial measures. This document of rights is foreign to me, shall we say.
mm-hmm.
But
It
not a horrible
it's-
idea given what I've seen back home.
And considering, well, I suppose I guess think of all the people in the war between Wave and 20 years ago.
I heard a lot of them got slaughtered.
I imagine that many of those possibly did not need to have died on both sides of the conflict, even if I do believe that Aaron was righteous.
I think
Hmm.
even now, many in Aaron still believe that, or would agree with you. They made
I'll
difficult
never-
choices, and I'm sure for many of them, it is some they regret.
Hmm.
So I
I
can
see.
appreciate that these measures, at least in the large scale, are an attempt to prevent something like that from happening again.
I'll never forget that day. Manning the walls, seeing the citizens of Wave chuck themselves at it, climbing ropes and clashing steel.
From what I understood, they were not a
sound
very
haunts me.
competent army, which makes it even more sad.
They did struggle against our great mighty walls, but to see, have you ever seen a man die in front of you, being chased by the army of Aaron?
I haven't seen someone
One-
die like that here. I have seen them die like that
We-
before.
I've chased someone down once. They tripped on a rock or whatever fell down. I gashed my sword through the gaps of his armor, and he bled.
But I
I
think
was-
what we.
I
Sorry.
suppose. No worries. Let's face it.
It,
We are not exactly in the prime of our ages. We're not far. We're not close to death, if you will. But we have aged considerably since the time that we've arrived here. By the time we pass, our children and their children will not have remembered the siege of Erin. They will not have remembered Ember's Hollow. So it is up to us to put measures in place to ensure they don't repeat those mistakes.
I would agree.
indeed, yeah.
Now then,
Maybe that's the worst of it all.
addressing
To
your
be
desire
forgotten.
for future plans and mistakes. I was speaking about this with Dominic just before you arrived, literally the second before you arrived.
Indeed.
As far as I'm aware,
Sorry,
Marshal, I have been informed that Bumbo has passed shortly after
Yes.
the cataclysm, and that his foundry is filled with lava and inaccessible if there is anything to be salvaged at all. Am I correct?
I was. Yes, the foundry is completely overrun. I was able to rescue several horses from the flames.
That is terrific. I'm glad
A very
they.
tremendous effort.
Now then, speak this to no one for now, but I'd like you to look in this sack.
Oh goodness.
Mm.
That is the last of it in this town. I'm sure the other towns have it, and I'm sure maybe some Ember's Hollow citizens have it as well. But as far as our own supply, this is what we have. And I have used it.
To build a blast furnace.
I am not waiting another 20 years for Bumble's grandkids to grow up, especially since their kid doesn't seem to be interested.
I actually might be able to help with this. I'm aware of a circle of. I remember one of the Circle of Birch was an apprentice under Bumbo.
Perhaps.
He does not know how to use Sky Steel, but he does know how to make the Strongfoot Steel. He knows the method.
Sky Steel is too few in number to be much of a difference for an army, so I don't probably say care all that much for it. And honestly, I don't even need Strongfoot Steel necessarily. I just need a good steel. There's plenty of room between good steel and Strongfoot Steel, and we just need good steel to keep the damn siege machines.
I would agree. But
So,
there is apprentices I could potentially contact.
by all means, reach out to them, and if they join us, and if not, perhaps we can learn from them instead, and then bring it back.
I would agree. This is looking like Vicentia is on its own road to a prosperous destiny.
Vicentian steel, bear and beware.
It would be...
Enough of waiting in lines.
I will point this out, we do have more than an unexpected amount of iron within our mines.
Indeed, which is why I mean to
I was able to swindle a pretty hefty profit from the iron that Boreal gave to me to trade, and within only a few minutes in the mines, I was able to gain all of it back.
Alright then.
It does seem like our undergrounds are filled with resources.
Not to mention, copper is completely abundant, and while it doesn't sound like much, the legal tender of this country, or the coinage system, is based on copper.
It is.
A new mint could very well be established in this region with so much commerce potential.
Indeed. Indeed.
What they
You've given me a lot
call
to.
a bank, I guess.
Thanks.
But I understand, obviously, that this Chancellor, whoever they may be, would be a separate position from the Marshal. Otherwise, you could
They would.
theoretically risk too much
Should-
power falling into the hands of one person.
In time, should the position be necessary, Dominic, I would be more so inclined for you to be Chancellor. Once I have a proper
Really, my
successor.
lord.
And then, of course, the
Uh,
populist representative would be elected amongst the populace. So that would be someone else entirely.
It would make sense.
I see so, Duncan.
So,
Thank you, it's
we shall
honor.
consider this our first Vincentian Council meeting.
I suppose we will.
Until such a
Indeed.
time as we establish a formal council to have another meet. Which means we're going to need
Let's
council
see.
chambers.
Don't worry, I'm sure that the staff will love us asking for another imported build for 6 people.
Well, if we somehow if after all this we
Well.
still end up with just 6 people, then we stay the way it is because rather unfortunately that means Vicentia is in a stage of stagnation. And
It would be very sad.
it would be. I really hope not.
I did build a custom island, but you know, I didn't ever want to ask for it to be imported for the fact that
To be fair, this fucking island is so cool.
And also, it's like the bulk of the damn town. It is the damn town.
Like, this island absolutely rocks. Like, I'm sorry, this is basically medieval Manhattan. It's fantastic. I love this island.
It is.
Oh, thanks.
Honestly, if we had more canals, it'd be Venice.
Like, I do think Vicentia is, like... Okay, in truth, what I really wanted to do is I do think we are in such an interesting position to make, like, an electorate-style thing within the HRE that is the, like, Erin.
Yeah, see, the funny thing is, I was comparing Aaron to the HRE, except it's not because they don't have an accurate succession.
Yeah, like, I wanted to make us basically Venice. Like, but, like, obviously, since we have a Duke and, like, everything's kind of flowed pretty well, it doesn't make much sense to have one. It was minutes since we go full Republic, so I think this Chancellor idea would also be a really, really good compromise. And I think it would make the politics much more vibrant.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I've been, like... I actually, like, it's why I want to do this. I will say, what I think we should do is we should make, like, like, basically use my thing that I'm writing out as, like, is sort of, like, as the overview, like, poster, basically, and then we write an actual document.
Okay.
Does that seem fair? And then we publish the document as the official thing.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because I've already, not gonna lie, I kind of realized... okay, out of character, there might be some shit going down in Circle of Birch right now.
Oh.
Oh, is there?
Oh.
Might be. I kind of... it's OOC, obviously, so you can't act on it, and I wouldn't plan to. But, let's just say they're getting a bit tired of Wolfram.
Oh boy. That is not...
And that's kind of why I
wonder-
keep emphasizing them.
It is you might have made the wrong call character-wise. Your character might have made the wrong call doing that because the moment Duncan finds out, it's going to put a lot less faith in this hybrid system.
Wait, say again?
Well, you kind of proposed a lot of your ideas based on
Yeah.
Circle of Birch's current operating system, and the moment
Yeah,
he finds
well,
out
it's not
about
like I
this-
had much of a... You have to... Okay, so first of all, she's made some good connections. She
He's
knew it
making
was a hard
connections. You won't
pitch.
dismiss the idea, but it's not going to help.
It's very
Oh,
funny
no,
to
it's-
say that, to have all this and be like, but they really don't like how it is right now, so...
Anyways,
The thing
wrong
is,
for
though,
another
is the
time.
reason why... Okay, you want to know my actual logic, though? Is that if they come over, they're from a fucking peasant republic, they're hardly going to be like, yes, I love the Emperor.
they're not,
Or, like...
but, well, it depends on how long the next time skip is.
Yeah, my point... the idea I basically had was, this is effectively meeting them halfway, right up the border. Anyway, point being is that would meet them halfway with this, and that would be a much better solution while maintaining both of your political positions.
That would be good, yeah.
That's kind of my... That was kind of my actual... That was my, like, my logic.
Yeah. It would be good to have more people, and then we could start messing around with the whole
Okay,
governance
I'm
thing.
gonna have to hop off here. I wasn't paying attention for a bit because I didn't have my headset on. I gotta go do
You did really well. Honestly, I'm guessing you're dying.
Well, essentially, it's gonna be a slow killing illness over 20-something years, or whatever the time skip is.
That's fine, works for me. But not
Um,
like I'm glad that we worked this out because this was pretty cool.
Okay, I'm gonna log off with my horse so I can have a Gen 3. I gotta go do
Dominic,
stuff.
you got any food?
Take care. Oh, here.
See ya.
I won't need this.
Oh.
I won't need this. So here, have some pasta and
Cool.
here, have these cookies.
Can I have the vegetable noodles?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Take it.
We can give them to the refugees.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make haste because I gotta log off and go help with some tables.
Yeah. But like,
Oh,
uh,
oh.